So here we are with another One Piece chapter that Oda has dropped for us. And let me tell you that Oda really done himself for this chapter, because not only that what happened last chapter is you have Rock's Pirates, Roger Pirate, and the Gods Knights, and now, well, young Garp, Prime Garp has now entered the four-way battle royale. Well, I don't know if it's a battle royale, but it is a battle royale. Now here comes the interesting part about this chapter that even Garp brought up before we went to this back. He even told all the Marines that he had to team up with Roger at one to defeat Rock. So my thing is, how did moreover, how did Roger team up with Garp led to them opposing against Rocks? They even said it themselves too, that Rox's crew was a rambunctious type of people. His crew was rambunctious. They didn't get along, you know? And another thing too, they're not even organized, basically. They're just bits and pieces put together by the Davy Back fight, which that actually happened on Hachinosu Island. So yeah, here we are at One Piece chapter 1161, titled A Love Ballad in a Hell of Arrow. Boom boom. And now let's go ahead and get into the chapter, which this chapter, I gotta say, highlights what's been going on. High tensions of level of, let's just say, of interest is what I'm gonna say. But the narrator comes on and says this: the island became an inescapable flashpoint where motive and fate erupted into a battlefield of nightmare. Which, yes, this whole island, this is the center vocal point of the incident, which has been known as last chapter, the God Valley incident, which it was an incident, like I said, well, not yesterday, but last chapter. But here we are. Now you got Dragon carrying the two kids, which there are Shamrock and Shanks. He holding in his hands or in his arms. So he's running away with the hoodie up too, so no one recognize him. However, I can say not recognized because one of the Gods Knight already found Dragon, and I'm betting Figureland even, I'm guessing, figured it out and said, oh damn, my children are gone. So yeah, Dragon has the children, and one of the Gods Knights took aim at Dragon's arm and shoot a beam straight out, well, let's just call it what it is, out from her mouth, which hits her, well, not hits her, but hits him in the shoulder, which, funny enough, I don't know if he dropped Shanks or Shamrock, but I'm thinking it's Shamrock that got dropped on the ground, and which caused the baby on the ground to cry. And you have not only that happening, but you also got other pieces too, which you got Roger, Rocks, and Garp. Oh man, had a robot shutdown for a minute there. But you have all three of them looking for each other. Not for each other, but you got Roger saying, where's Shocky? Is she alright? And then you got Rocks worrying about his wife and child, which is Iris and Teach. Let me tell you that if you think that that's Teach's full name, let's be honest, is Marshall D. Teach. But in actuality, it's Rock D. T. Or I don't know how that is. And then you got Garp worrying about where Roger go. Where is he at? So yeah, that actually what's been going on for the three most powerful men on looking for their objectives. But Rocks, let's be honest, is mostly going to be pissed of what's about to happen. A wife and child, which that's not going to be a happy camper, right? So anyway, you cut back to one of God's Knight, and she says, I got him. And then you have the transponder snail saying this, you're a lifesaver, Mafi. Garland would have killed me, basically. And then you get the full title of the God's Knights and which family she had been held from, which is God's Knight, Satchel's family, Saint Moth, which I gotta say, she reminds me of the Pedro. No, not Pedro. The other one, the lion looking one that's from I can't remember. Whole Cake Island. Under Big Mom, one of Big Mom's sporting, but she reminds with the glasses too. And it looks like she's a Oni with a cigar smoking, and she has one of the, I can't tell which one is which because they're twins. So she either got Shanks or Shamrock, and you got Dragon on the ground just trying to get up and get those babies. And he says, wait, those babies, they're my only chance to atone for helping set up this twisted murder game. Which I'll be honest with you, Dragon is gonna do a whole flip 180 after this whole flashback. We're gonna see what led to this switch up, which I'm pretty sure is because of this murder game. He saw everything what went down on this island. Him seeing this is a big indicator that would change his attitude towards Marines, because Marines was keeping this on the down low, and I bet that his perception of the Marines is now like questioning, like, how long was this going on? Like, how long has this been going on with my knowledge? And now that he's like questioning himself, like, what the hell is going on? Why are the Marines doing? Why are they keeping this on a hush hush down low? What's going on? So this is pretty much the turning point of Dragon himself. Anyways, Monfils ends up saying to Dragon while he's about to die on the ground, it was a nice knowing you, young man. And Dragon's like, I guess that's that, considering all the dead, this is probably what I deserve anyway. So yeah. But before she delivers the final blow on our boy Dragon, deadbeat Dragon, the same situation that happened to Saint Summer, same situation, like there's a pattern between this. So you have all of a sudden Monfils has been cut in half from the torso, just like Saint Saturn's. And now I would say that she isn't dead. She's not dead. Remember, Saint Summer was beheaded and cut into pieces, or not pieces. Yeah, I would say cut into pieces, but he's not dead. He wasn't dead. That means he has the power, or similar to Eam, where he can, I guess, heal any energy. Same thing with all the Goras say, which Saint Saturn, I would say, definitely would be definitely indicator from the anime too, which I would agree that if all Marines will have this type of power, which you would think that they will pose a threat to the pirates. But anyways, this cut was not delivered by anybody else but Whitebeard, and Big Mom was like, what the hell are you doing? You almost kill me. And Whitebeard's Edward Newgate said this to her, well, for the last time, I was aiming at the enemy, not you. How many other pirates crews landed here anyways? And Big Mom was like, you know that's a damn lie, obviously, because that attack was in the line of fire. Basically what she's trying to say. And Dragon is just looking at these two opposing people like, what the hell? They're so huge. And then you got Shiki, the Golden Lion, catching up, and also Kaido too. So you got the big four Yonkos back to back, and you get this panel of them whooping their asses. All the Marines and pirates too. So there you go. You get that sick panel. You got Big Mom, Whitebeard, Kaido, and Shiki. All four of them back to back. Now, I won't say anything, but here we are. Now, Dragon gets up and is like, okay, I need to get these babies off this damn island. But we can't do that because you got Garp hot on their heels. Not only hot on their heels, but he's going for the four emperors, future four emperors. He said, now this is the big catch, and he just charges up his hockey and aims at the ground. And you just see the four emperors, future emperors, by the way, know who Garp and starts making a beeline out of there. They don't want to face Garp because they know who Garp is. They don't want to face the man and sign their death wish. We're like, yeah, we're not dealing with Garp because we know what he's all about. So you got all of them running, but you got Big Mom with I guess the brightest idea to oppose, I would say not oppose, but okay, I would say oppose. She would oppose Garp. Prime Garp, by the way. This is Prime Garp. This is peak Garp. This is where his level is at. No one is going to touch at this until the main story comes along and someone touches. You see what happened on the Hachinosu Island. Unfortunately. But in my opinion, he would have got it out of there anyway, but rising right now, he's a prisoner. But you got Big Mom calling upon Zeus and Prometheus, and their response to, okay, what you want us to do? And, well, Big Mom takes Zeus and Prometheus and chucks a thunderbolt and a sun flare at Garp, thinking will do something. And she says, heavenly flare blit. And Dragon looks at that's a dad and Vice Admiral Garp. Everybody sees this, and a whole ass big explosion happens, and everybody sees that. It's like, well, what's going on? Now you have I don't know if this panel, if Garp is charged with smoke around him or if it's just the debris. But look at this. This is menace. This reminds me of Gear 5th Luffy of when he popped out to show out what his image would look like. But this is Prime Garp. And Garp says this isn't even hot enough to cook a prime rib, Lin. And well, she just say, well, shit. I shouldn't. She just looked at that and said, oh. Okay, I'm in danger. Literally. So yeah, Prime Guard just took that blast. Was like, just hit me with something because it was hot enough, but I guess it wasn't hot enough. So Garp just was just like staring them down. It's like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm definitely coming for you. Oh man, you don't know how much trouble you're in. So yeah, that's what actually happened on that part. And you just got Dragon. Prime Dragon, by the way, like not Prime Dragon, but what Dragon looks like back then. Just looking at that, it's like, well, shit. I kind of knew, but I guess I know now. And it's 100%. My dad is not one to be messed. So then you got Dragon says, I'm sorry, I may not be able to help your brother, but I swear I'll at least save you. So I'm guessing Moth got Shamrock and Dragon got or has Shanks. But how the hell does Shanks get into the treasure chest? Still confused about that. Anyways, you got other Gods Knight hunting down there still playing the big game, I guess. Hunting game. And then you got one of top Marines, one of Dragon Supreme Commanders or commanding officer saying the Rocks Pirates are coming from the southeast and the Roger Pirates from the northwest. We've been sandwiched. I mean, call it what you. I mean, you have Celestial Dragons. If any Celestial Dragons have died in this fight, I want to be mad because they all deserved it, especially the last one. But anyway, and then you got the Roger Pirates, I guess, and not only Roger Pirates, but you got Rocks Pirates saying get back Shocky, and they all here for Shocky. We all know it. This is the prime example too. Now we get into the juicy part of this chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, Saint Summers comes in through the door. And so Saint Summers walks into the building through the door. And he just with two Marine and he just what he sees is a Marine decked into well, let's call it what it is. A Marine decked into the wall. Two Marines, oh well, no, I can't say two Marines. Three Marines on the ground, past, maybe unconscious, if not dead. So, and then you got Shocky still chained up, but she's still powerful, by the way. Anyway, Saint Summer says this, don't tell me all of them were taken out by one little chained up lady. And Shocky's rebuttal to this is, sounds like the pirates out there are really going to town. And I hate Saint Summers for this, but he says this, how distasteful, there's nothing less cute than a woman who knows her worth. And he slaps her. Oh, you diabolical man. Why would you slap a young lady like that? But yeah, he slapped instantly, make her fall to, well, not fall to the ground, but she took that slap, and in return, kicks him in the face. Or wait, is it an arm? Yeah, she kicks her, kicks Saint Summers in the arm. But well, Saint Summers is like, ouch, and grabs her leg and takes the club, hit one of his spine clubs, and whacks her across the head, making her fall to the ground. He's like, or Shaggy's like, damn, what? Uh-oh. And Saint Summer says this, you know, all these pirates are here to take you away. Your popularity's quite the pain. It's certainly made a mess of our tourney. Even if you survive this, Garling will ultimately claim you as his. No one else really gains anything, so I'm starting to wonder if it wouldn't just be more fun to kill you here and now. He continues, they've come all this way just to save you. It would be unfortunate for them to survive. Hell, only to find the mangled corpse of their beloved here. I wonder what kind of faces they'll make. Uh-oh, little sick little twist. And then you got the Rocks Pirates fighting their way toward where Shocky is. And then you got Roger and Whitebeard facing each other off with Hockey, by the way, because you got the Hockey lightning spewing out of their blade. And everybody's fighting hard for Shocky. This is all for Shocky, by the way. This is the reason why last chapter was known as the God Valley incident. It was because of Shocky. Y'all don't know how fundamental importance Shocky was to this backstory. I didn't know Shocky was mostly important to this backstory. This was a huge ass surprise. I was expecting more of a sequence of events here. Like, for example, like, oh, the reason why the Rocks Pirates mobilized God Valley because Rox's family was in trouble. Something like that. But to think it was because of shock, bruh, that blew my mind after finding that out. But anyway, Say Summer says this, can you hear that? They're right outside, but I'm afraid they're just a little too late. Saint Summers, Garling won't forgive this kind of transgression. Saint Summer says this, zip it, I don't give a damn because I'm here and I'm gonna do whatever I want, basically. So yeah. So Saint Summers takes his club, which he was about to get to whacking on Shock. But however, someone comes in the clutch of the center of his future wife, by the way. And Saint Summers just like take a glance, and he says, I know he senses this presence, and he was like, what? And boom! I don't know if this completely obliterates Saint Summers or where he is, but oh wait, no, I see him. He's right here. I don't know if you can see this, but he's right here. He's been slammed into the wall pretty much with great force, by the way. So yeah, and you got Rayleigh saying this, I'll send you to the darkest shadows of the underworld, transcendent Hegan Crescent, or Hegon Crescent. And Shocky's surprised by this, and oh man, you get this scene. Oh man, you have Shocky bawling her eyes out, and she says, Ray-san, you're late. and he apologized and says, "I'm sorry for letting it come to this. I should have been on that island, grabbed you up, and went and set sail." And she says, "I was so scared." And Rayleigh thinks back onto the well, I would say the note that Shaki gave him, says, "Sorry, come and make me yours, Shaki." And Rayleigh says this, "I'm here for you," and he holds out his hand. And you got Scuffering Gabon and Roger outside the door. I'll never ever. And then you got both of them saying, "Save it for later, you dog." And you got them, and you got Roger making a signal. "Guys, we got Shaki. Grab the treasure and run for it. We off this island." Chapter 1161. End. So, final thoughts on this chapter. Now, I would say that from looking at this chapter, I would say not only not Roger, but Garp has a high enough status to not seeing what the Celestial Dragon were doing on that island. But Dragon sees how much power his dad, Monkey D. Garp, his father, has to like tank that blast from Big Mom, which that was kind of surprising all to myself. But it was more surprising to say, at least, that Dragon was, well, he didn't grab the other baby, which I think what Monfy grabbed was which is the God's Knight. What she grabbed was Shamrock, and what Dragon grabbed was, or picked up and carried, was Shank. So that's the interesting part. So if Shanks gets put in the treasure chest, then I'm guessing Dragon was the sole reason that baby Shanks got put in the treasure chest. I'm convinced. So what happens now in the next chapter? Well, here's my opinion on that. So you have now that Roger has Shaki, here's the thing about that. So the God Valley incident is because they explained it multiple times that Roger and Garp teamed up against Rock, but they never explained why. Or Oda never explained. So my thing is does Rox have a devil fruit? Or is he that strong, warring Garp seeking help towards a pirate, meaning Roger, to help him fight against Rock? Because if Rock struggling against so much, what does that say about Roger fighting against Rox by himself? You know what I mean? Because that would be a daring tell that Rox is stronger than Marine Garp and, well, Prime Garp and Prime Roger. Prime Rox is stronger than both of them together, or when they're separated, because I think two of them separated will cause some rift. But that's kind of theory right there, because we don't know about what's gonna happen in God's Valley. But when Rox find out what happened to his wife Iris and T, heads are gonna roll. Let me tell you that, because Rox value his family more than anything else. Let's just put that out there, because he kept his wife hidden on God's Valley so long. Same thing with the reason why I still think to this day that, or I still think this now, that the reason why St. Garland kept his wife on that island to investigate if the Davy Jones clan, was still alive and active. Which, now that he confirmed it, boom, right there. And the Buccaneers. So St. Garland found a gold mine. So that's probably why he put his wife on our island, to be like gold, just to give a good old reason to be like, okay, now I got a good reason to murder everyone for this game. So yeah, interesting enough. But if you like this chapter, this video, or the way I conducted this whole new not setup, but whole new way of doing this chapter now, subscribe, like, and share this video, and comment down below if you think that, well, if Rox would destroy everything around him if he finds out wife and child got killed. Mostly the wife, because I think the wife put that out. History has shown, or chapters have shown, that Blackbeard, meaning Marshall DT, has now have no mother. He shows no mother. So he picked Whitebeard picked up Black as a child. So now we know what really happened. Yeah. See you again and see you next adventure later.